You. What's poppin', people? What's poppin'? We are here with my dude, MLD. John, what's going on, man? How's it going? How's it going?
Good. It's morning for both of us because I slept all day.
I feel
here in Tokyo.
I know we up early, man. This is the life we chose. So we gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. So today's a special show because MLD works crazy hard to put these programs together for you guys to help you guys step up your game. So right now we got the Masculine Empowerment Network. So tell everybody what that's about, how they could join. And guys, the link is in the chat. April put the link in the chat. So if you want to join, make sure you click that link. And we have the link below also this video if you're watching it on the replay. But yeah, let everybody know, what the Masculine Empowerment Network is and how they could join and what they can get in this situation.
The Masculine Empowerment Network is a annual educational academy network, right? Where guys join into this program and they want to level up across the board. They want to make more money. They want to have more game. They want to have more muscles. They want to have more confidence. They want to have more frame to control the relationships with females, stop them from cheating and all that, right? That's what this whole network is all about. Guys who are dedicated to self-improvement. And we do it with a very no bullshit approach, right? Very red pill, to use a lack of a better word. Very, very cut and dry. No bullshit. None of this like, oh, just go get a college degree and you're gonna have a great life. Like we tell you how to use your time, how to use your money, how to use your emotions, everything to maximize the benefit for you, which is your life. And we have right now is over 170 something people in the group right now. And we've been doing this since 2019. People who've come through my program, my all-star student, Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines came through this in 2019 before he was Myron Gaines. And, I educated him on a lot of things, kind of leveled him up. And we worked together for 2 years behind the scenes. And then he launched Fresh and Fit Podcast, which is like, they're almost at 1 million subs right now.
Exactly. That's what's up. Shout out to Myron, man. So listen, that's already like one of the biggest receipts right there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're working with Myron and he went from there to where he's at now, that's what's up. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So it may sound a little confusing. So I have like a chart here that just kind of shows everybody what they get when they sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network.
Nice. Let me put this up, add this to the stream.
So it's pretty simple. What they get as soon as you sign up, you get access to my course, which is Body Language Mastery. This is a video course that shows you with a Japanese female model certain body language gestures to let you know if she is sexually interested in you or if she's sexually not interested in you, so you can move on. Don't get fleeced. Don't get fucking finessed and all that, because we know right now finessing is at an all-time high.
Oh yeah, because if you ain't got no game, you're gonna get messed up out here. You know what I'm saying?
Not a good thing. Not a good thing. In addition to that, you get 40 plus webinars, okay, with experts in money, muscles, game, and frame. So what this does right here, a webinar is a digital meeting on Zoom, okay? And the webinars are very simple. You join the webinars. They start on Tuesday, August 2nd, this upcoming week, right? And they start at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twice a day.
Nice.
Okay? In the first half of the webinar, it's the presenter giving his presentation. He talks about whatever the case may be. It's going to be money, muscles, game, or frame, right?
You have accepted the truth.
Sorry about that. The second half is when people have questions in the audience and we answer every single question. The average webinar lasts anywhere between 2 to 6 hours because so many people have questions, and I have a team of experts guys with verified receipts, verified life experience. This is not guys with a bunch of theory or feel good nonsense. This is straight up dudes who have done it. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
If you're not able to attend these, they are recorded and they're stored on a database online, which you get immediate access to as well when you sign up. So it says here 200 hours of past webinars. We have been recording all the webinars since 2019. You can come in there and see when Myron Gaines was just not even Myron Gaines, just like, you know, a young dude trying to level up and, you know, make himself, make a name for himself, which he clearly has done. In addition to that, you get access to a secured Telegram chat. Telegram's an app where you can communicate with all the members in the community. And we have guys putting screenshots of text messages, getting text message game, getting, you know, sizing girls up, saying, hey, she's saying this, she's flaking on me, what's going on? Because if you're watching this kind of content at home, right, it's great. But what's even better is to have a dialogue with us,
right?
You know, two experts in this field. And we're able to teach these guys exactly what they need to do in order to get the results what they want, which, let's be honest, they want as much sex as possible for little investment as possible, right?
Right.
Who doesn't? You know, 'cause I love how you say, like, you know, stop taking these women on dates if you want to have sex.
Exactly. You know? Right. You know, do the wasting time and money for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of these guys don't really understand how bad they are at game. And that's no offense to anybody, but, you know, we're men here operating within the realms of truth.
Right.
And you're going to need help from us. You're going to need, if you're needing help in anything, you go and you get help from somebody who's better than you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't become like an MMA champion saying, like, I'm just going to figure this out of myself. You know, I'm just going to, you know, fight in the woods, you know, and you know, train by myself and I'm going to become a champion. No, you go find a coach, you find someone who's done it and they learn from you, you know? That's what we have. All this is in a digital form. In addition to that, we have a members only forum and you get, excuse me, you get direct interaction with me, MLD, and my team of experts, including you, Mr. Locario, and all the boys in the chat. So I'll show you what the schedule looks like. The schedule is here. So these are the first 20. And if you sign up today, you get access to 20 more that happen in January. So you're making an investment now, and you're also making an investment to start off 2023 correctly.
Nice.
Here's some of the things we got going on here. Sterling Cooper is a award-winning porn star, and he knows how to juggle multiple women. As well, does a lot of coaching on how guys can last longer, fix premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, all that. The title of his presentation is Green Flags to Look For When Choosing Main Chicks, right? Stephen Bell is an Australian guy who was he had quite the colorful life. You know, he went to prison, he did all this wild stuff, ended up managing a $10 million hedge fund, and getting out of the matrix and completely free and rich and just living life completely on his own terms.
Right.
That's the Millionaire Matrix escape plan. Hypnosis for Men, to talk about why you always feel for guys that have like internal self-doubt problems, which I think you talk about a lot on your channel.
That's important. That's definitely important.
So those ones get pretty deep. These ones right here, because what I realized, Locario, is that in my time doing all this game coaching for these last 3 years, all the problems always go back to self-esteem.
Right.
And you know, that's why I love what you always say, right? The truth is inside you. Because I think that inner person, you know, your inner G, whatever, that you either you neglect or you listen to. If you neglect him, your life is going to be hell. But if you listen to him, you know, you're going to level up.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, a lot of guys out there, what they don't realize is that self-doubt and self-talk continues to happen because it's a cycle. So because they don't know certain things about game and know certain things about, they're tapping into the masculinity, they're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again, because when you don't know something, what happens is that you just keep going in this spiral over and over again, and then you're confused and you're like, how come I can't make anything happen? And your reality becomes that thing. But that's only because you don't got the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So I think this is why I think stuff like this, the Masculine Power Network is great, because what happens is, and this is one of the key things I tell guys, or I think about with this, you get all this information, access to all these people, and you don't even have to leave your house. You understand what I'm saying? So it's so convenient for you to actually do this, because in most cases, if this was like somewhere where you had to go fly out, spend a lot of money, get hotels and all that other stuff, it'd cost you like a crazy amount. But you're getting all of this and you don't even have to leave your house. You see what I'm saying? You just have to have an internet connection and you're good.
Mm-hmm. You know, I got a lot of guys that are truck drivers that put on this stuff and listen when they're driving across the country.
Right.
We got it all. This is not like a bunch of like nerds and stuff in here that are, you know, theorizing about certain things. I mean, I have doctors, I have celebrities, I have pro athletes. We have high-ranking members in the military. We have a lot of just high-level guys in here, and it's really good too for guys who are trying to come up in life, but they don't have any direct access to other people that are richer than them, that are smarter than them,
right?
And they don't get to hear these conversations, right? Because like, what changed my life with everything was I met a guy named Ben, and he was just showing me he was making a lot of money in the porn industry, like porn, selling ads and stuff like this.
Right.
And he was showing me his money. He was like making $80,000 a month, $60,000 a month. And when at first, when I heard these numbers, when somebody told me making $80,000 a month, I was like, bro, you're a liar, bro. Like, get away from me. You know, because I grew up very poor. And so, you know, when you grow up poor, like, you kind of really put money on a pedestal,
right?
You know? You think it's like this elusive thing that you can't get a hold of,
right?
And yeah, just by meeting Ben, and like, this guy had like a Lambo, he had a friggin' Range Rover as well, and I was just like, dude, this guy's only 33 and he's balling, you know. So it was just really wild to open my eyes to that. So that's why we open your eyes digitally from the convenience of your smartphone, your iPad, your laptop, your computer, whatever the case may be. You can pop in and listen wherever you are. I have guys that go to the gym and listen. I have guys that like you're at work in the cubicle and they listen. It's a global movement, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, right? Especially right now with all the uncertainty going on with the recession and all that jazz.
Right.
You know, it's good to be part of this network.
I agree. And guys, y'all gotta make sure y'all sign up ASAP, because when's the last day they can sign up for this? Because some people they'll slack and they'll be like, oh shit, I missed it and all that other stuff.
Monday, tomorrow at midnight it closes.
So y'all gotta get on this ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
We got you here, Mr. Locario, speaking Thursday on August 4th at 9 a.m. This is your thing, 15 behaviors that make you unsuccessful with women.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to that one, because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm perfect. I'm a very flawed individual. I have a lot of things wrong with me. Like, I'm not as like super game pimp. Like, I don't get me wrong, I have really good levels of game, but there are definitely holes in my game, and I'm man enough to admit that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm constantly learning. You know what I mean?
And guys, make sure y'all get on this, because when on Thursday the 4th, basically what I'm going to be talking about is it's bad boy membership level game. So you're going to be getting that on there. It's always save like the really good stuff for events like this. You see what I'm saying? Definitely, especially Masculine Power Network. Because I remember last time when I was speaking, I did the same type of level of bad boy membership level game. So for you guys who watch me a lot and you want to get that type of level of game, make sure that you join this, because it's definitely going to be that level of game when you see it on Thursday. So make sure you guys get on that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Later that night, we got Red Pill Thor. Is going to be talking about TRT, HRT, and peptides. These are things that help with your health. Friday, I've noticed this as well. There's a big problem with guys in this corner of the internet with managing their personal finances. I know some dudes that are making like $90,000 a year and they have no savings.
That's crazy.
Dude, it's way more prevalent than you think it is, man. It is way more prevalent.
That's crazy.
And these guys, you can only disrespect money for so long before money walks away. You got to have a respect for it, a healthy respect. Like, if you're going to step into a ring and fight somebody, no matter who's across from you, you got to have a little bit of respect for your opponent, because it could put you away. Money's the same way. We got that next Monday, Troy Francis and James Tusk. You ever talk to James Tusk?
Oh yeah, James Tusk, that's my dude right there. I spoke to James Tusk years ago. We did an interview years ago, probably like 6-7 years ago. It was a minute. And the reason why I love James Tusk is because, you know, I always try to get on guys where they think it's all about looks. And James Tusk basically looks like Brad Pitt's cousin. You understand what I'm saying? So, and he shows videos of him approaching women and like getting like rejected. You know what I'm saying? So it just shows like it's literally not just about your looks. You know what I mean? So I appreciated him for that because it showed guys like, look, it's not just about that. You actually have to have game. You got to be able to interact with women, and everybody's going to get rejected at some point. So I definitely shout out to James Tusk because he's on point. And I love that him and Troy Francis are working together to you know what I'm saying, put that energy out there. So shout out to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, James. I like James because he's very congruent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who he is on the inside is who he is on the outside.
Right.
I think a lot of people have problems with that.
Right.
You know, but he's very, very, very congruent. I went to Colombia in January with these two animals, and we had it was a wild time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But James is really good at night game. Really, really, really good at night game.
Mm.
So that's something to check out. Inner Masculine will be talking about how to believe in yourself. As Disney as that sounds, it's really important because a lot of guys, you know, they'll try to go talk to a girl, they'll try to go get the job promotion, but in their mind, they already don't believe they're really worthy of it.
Right.
And so they're lost before the battle's even started.
Mm.
You know, so we're going to teach you how to believe in yourself. And this goes into like your subconscious mind, healing traumas, your subconscious mind, limiting beliefs, all this stuff. That's what we're going to talk about with Ryan from Inner Masculine.
Right.
Tuesday on the 9th, me, MLD, I'm just going to talk about how to be physically attractive because a lot of guys just have no fashion sense.
Right.
No swagger. They think, oh, I'm bald, it's over. Or I'm Asian, it's over. Or I'm Indian, it's over. And it's like,
right.
No, dude.
And you know what's good about that too? I always tell guys, you know, like your appearance is very important because I always tell guys that women are going to be more receptive to you if you have a better appearance. Like you were talking about this when we did the interview the other day where you was talking about you had the suit on in Miami and this woman just walked up to you and was just like, hey, what, you know what I mean? Like just wanted to talk to you and see what you're about, literally just because of your appearance. So I think a lot of guys, they underestimate how much appearance can help you when it comes to interacting with women, because women, they basically judge themselves based off who approaches them. So if a guy with a great appearance approaches them, they'll be more receptive versus if you're looking like a slouch and a bum, they're going to be like, this, you know, losers coming up to me and trying to talk to me. You know what I mean? So it's true.
Yeah. You always want to present yourself in with your best foot forward. You know what I mean? And again, I think every guy in my mind, in my heart of hearts, I really think every guy has the ability to at least be a 7 out of 10 by going to the gym. Every guy.
Right.
You know, and the gym is super like, dude, all you need to do is consistently go to the gym, eat enough protein, and get enough sleep.
Right.
That's all you need to do. You do that for 2 years, you're going to look phenomenal, especially with obesity rates going through the roof and everybody's, you know, good Lord, man, when I go back to America, it's something else. You know,
right.
You know, America kind of has that global reputation of people who don't have a lot of fashion sense and not very well put together. But if you can be a guy who's physically fit and have a good fashion sense about you, I mean, you're going to have way more options than if you didn't do those things.
Right. Right. That's a fact.
Apex Mindset, talk about idealized isolation, the secret to owning her mind. And you'll kind of, if you guys watching Mr. Locario, you know what that means. Harry Zikos is a guy up in New York, and he going to do real estate investing 101. Inner Masculines talk about upgrading your identity. Alpha Villains talk about reclaiming your power. Ignite Marketing talk about being social with women and networking. Offit Kingdom's doing a game Q&A, so you know it's going to be fire right there.
Nice.
He goes on like 6-hour rants, dude. It's fantastic.
Shout out to Afi.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. I love Afi with all my heart, dude. Like I before I even blew up, if you know, whatever you want to say, my rise to whatever it was, but in 2018 when I wasn't live streaming and I wasn't really putting together much, Afi and I were chilling on the internet talking to each other. And Afi's a great guy, like super fantastic guy. Red Pill Thor is back with Dominant Masculine Presence. Just talk about how to be a dominant man and a figure of authority in these women's lives, because if you don't have a dominant presence, they're not going to respect you. And
Right.
if they don't respect you, they're not going to love you. It's just that simple.
Right.
And then Mark's inspiration, we talk about the value of fitness, and then we have a closing ceremony. So you get all of that, right? That was a long list. It was 20. And in January, you get access to 20 more completely for free. Telegram chat goes from the moment you sign up all the way to March 2023.
Right.
And you get lifetime access to the database of all the courses, all the video recordings, and as well as the courses as well. Yeah, so it's a total package. And honestly, I just take pride because I have really changed a lot of guys' lives. I took a guy from France who was literally living in his mother's basement, and in a year and a half, I think we're at 2-year mark now. Now he makes 20,000 euros a month as an art director for a cryptocurrency company, and all he was doing these sketches and shit in his literally in his mother's basement. He was a virgin, and we sorted him out. We got him on the path, and he's living a fantastic life. And I have so many testimonials, I can't even go through them. But these guys are definitely getting some life-changing results. There's no doubt about that.
Right. So, guys, I'm telling you, y'all need to get up on this. Click the link. I have the link below for those who watch it on the replay, and the links is in the chat. And I'm telling you, y'all guys want to get up on this, because see, this is what a lot of guys do. They'll be sitting there. They're like, okay, I'll think about it. and then what happens is you have half the guys who actually take action. Then you have the other half who sort of sit there, and then they're going to stay in the same place for the next year. And so what we want you guys to understand is that once you get started on doing what you need to do, that's when you'll actually really start to see change later on down the line. But nothing's going to happen if you're just sitting there not making anything happen. So the reason why we have these type of events yearly. This is why, even like, for example, this is why I have monthly stuff on the Bad Boy membership. There's a reason why we consistently do this, because you need to stay consistent. It's just like in a gym. If you stop going to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Like your muscles is going to get, messed up. So what it is that you need to make sure you're consistent with it. So the same thing happens with self-improvement. You have to be consistent with it. You understand? You have to constantly work out your mind. You got to constantly work out your emotions. You got to constantly work out your mentality. All those things have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely. And one thing I noticed too that's pretty wild. Every time I do these enrollment periods, right? We usually get 100 plus signups every time. And out of those people, right? I kid you not, I would say about out of the 100% of people that sign up for the course, I would say about 45% attend the webinars.
Right.
And that's been consistent, and it blows my mind, because if I pay for something, I am, as I grew up poor, like when I go eat buffalo wings, like that bone is nothing, bro. There's no meat. That cartilage is gone. Everything's gone, But yeah, it blows my mind how a lot of these guys, they just don't stick it through. And I realize that's the most important part of success, is having the ability to see something through. Because I'm sure you've had business hiccups with your brand and everything here, and you're like, damn, bro, I'm about to be in the goddamn poorhouse, bro.
Right.
That's happened to me before. It is not fun, but you got to keep on keeping on.
Right. And I think what's good about events like this and programs like this is that you get so many different facets of the game, because it's not just about women, it's about your finances, it's about just you improving overall in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? You being that guy that hits on all cylinders, because you don't want to be the guy who you could smash a bunch of chicks but you broke. But then you also don't want to be the guy who has a lot of money, but you can't get no women. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. If you're the, you want to be well-rounded, so you'll be able to have all of these things in your life on point. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me ask you something. I have my thought on this, but I want to get your opinion. I always say this: for guys that think money and status are the things you need to get women, right? And they only focus on money and status, in my opinion, those guys are just prepping themselves to be a bigger target.
Right.
you know, because they have no game. Because the thing is that when you level up, this is something King Dre really taught me well, but when you level up, there's a higher level of predatory woman that comes after you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you have status, you got a blue check, you know, she knows you got a couple million or a couple 100,000 or whatever. You know, the type of woman, not all women, but there's like a you know, like the Brittany Renners and shit out there.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. Because, you know, it's funny, when I was on I Love New York on VH1, when I was popular, you know what I mean? Like, and this is, everybody was watching TV at the time, and, you know, and I live in New York, so like I'd take the trains, I'd be all over the place, and people was recognizing me everywhere because it was like the highest rated TV show in history, in cable history at the time. Mm-hmm. So I literally had women come up to me and like just try to holler at me, just throwing me their numbers, information, whatever. So there was these two girls that were friends or whatever, I guess, and they came up to me. They were like, "Hey, you know, do you want to like let's hang out tomorrow? And you know, like we'll have a threesome." Like they was just straight, you know what I'm saying, like about it.
Jesus.
I gave them my information. Next, you know, I had, I guess it was one of their boyfriends or some dude they knew, whatever, hit me up, and they was threatening my life. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that you become a bigger target if you don't know how to manage your situation. And so this is what a lot of guys need to understand. You need to. It was funny because I was watching a Vlad TV interview, and it was with this dude Michael Jai White, the actor. He said if you don't manage your issues before you gain power, you're going to fuck shit up. And what he meant by that is, like, let's say, for example, you join this program, right? What it's going to teach you is going to teach you all the things you need to know, but also how to manage it and be the guy who can make money but keep the money, the guy who can get the girl but maintain the girl. Because if you get money but you don't know how to maintain money, you're going to lose all your money. If you get the girl but you don't know how to maintain the girl, then what's going to happen is that she's going to run you through the ringer. You see what I mean? And so the thing is, it's not just about the acquiring of these things. It's about the maintenance of these things, because when you get that type of power, but you don't know how to maintain it and manage it, then you could come crashing down. And unfortunately, what happens is that most dudes aren't even strong enough to come back from that crash if it happens. You see what I mean? And so what you want to do is you want to prevent that before it goes to that level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's dark, man. It's really dark. No, but it's true. Like, because that's one thing I've noticed with these dudes with my training methods, right? One thing is I'll teach them the fast track to success, right? But internally they're not ready for it.
Right.
You know, I remember this one guy, he was like sleeping with all these girls. You know, he's a good looking white guy. You know, he had a complex. He's like, I'm 5'7". I was like, so what? Right. You know, he's a good looking dude. He was shredded, right? We told him to get shredded when he was in the course. Hey, making good money. He owned a house, you know, he's living in Baltimore. He was doing very well for himself. And he started getting all this pussy, right? But then we had a follow-up webinar like at the end of the year.
Right.
And he just started like breaking down on the camera and started crying and stuff. He's like, I just feel so empty. You know, we were just like, well, dude, I mean, you know, like money, women, and power and all this shit is not going to fix your internal issues.
Exactly.
You know? It's like a temporary, it's like a drug to numb the symptoms, but the more you numb it, you know, when the price to pay comes up, you know, it's going to hit you hard. You know what I mean?
Right. And also what's interesting about that is this is why you have to have the right mindset to actually enjoy your success. Because sometimes what happens is, truthfully, this is what a lot of guys are doing. They're thinking, if I get more money, if I'm able to get more girls, then I'll be happy, right? And then what happens is they get those things and they realize, damn, I'm still miserable. And the reason why that happens is because you don't have the right mentality when it comes to you actually enjoying your life and living your life. Because what it is that your happiness has to be there regardless. But then when you do get all those things, when you do level up, you're able to enjoy it more because your happiness, it doesn't necessarily depend on that. But this is why you need the knowledge to understand that. The problem is, if you don't got the knowledge, you can get all these things and then you're still depressed. And this is why you have people, guys who are rich, guys who have clout, guys who have status, famous, and you like, damn, why did they go crazy? Why did they do this? And the reason why is because they didn't have the right mentality. So this is why I tell guys, look, events like this, programs like this teach you about having that right mentality, teach you how to handle things when you get to that point. You see what I'm saying? Because you want to be able to have the right mindset before you even get there. So when you do get there, you know how to handle it when you get there. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys, what'll happen is, and this is the thing, you're going to actually be worse off if you get there and you don't have the right mentality, and then you lose it all, or you go crazy, because now what happens is that causes trauma. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing that'll make it to where it's going to be harder for you to get out of that sort of, mindset, because you've already like crashed down harder. You see what I'm saying? So it's better to learn what you need to learn and do what you need to do first, so that you can be able to, receive what you need to receive in a healthy way, so you know how to handle it and do what you got to do. So I think a lot of times guys sort of like information like this and events like this are very underrated, I think, in my opinion, because what happens is that, you're really getting life-changing advice and information. And if you take it seriously, it can change your whole life. Because truth be told, what the funny part is? I remember watching you, MLD, way back in the day. And I remember you like, I forgot I think you might have had a different channel or something like that. But I remember watching that, and I remember I didn't know that it was the same dude, because when I started watching your new channel, I was like, is that the same guy that I used to watch? And I remember watching your channel, you probably had like 100 subscribers, and, you were trying to like do your thing. And I was like, and so it was a whole different jump from there to where you are now. But what a lot of people don't understand is that took work. Yeah. That took dedication. That took having the right mindset. That took having, you probably, because I feel like most guys go through this. You doubt yourself and you're like, damn, can I really do this? But you keep going, and then you see the progress, and then it's consistent. You see what I'm saying? And then you start to see the results.
Yeah, that happened to me at the end of 2020. We're going back to like the the situation with getting the success, but then just blowing it, right? So at the end of 2020, I was still kind of working through some like self-worth issues that I was dealing with, right? Full transparency.
Right.
And I had all this money, and I just trying to be, there was like this group of people in Tokyo that I was like just trying to like kind of like prove to them I was cool or whatever.
Right.
And I was just doing fucking dumb shit, like, partying too much, buying bottles in the club and everything, doing this stuff that I thought would make me happy.
Right.
And I ended up spending like, it's retarded, but I spent up like $20,000 in VIP services and stuff, just like chasing these people's validation.
Right.
You know what I mean? And really, then I kind of did a pullback, and then I started working very closely with King Dre in May of 2021. And then also Ryan from Inner Masculine, which I mentioned on the schedule there.
Right.
Just talking about being internally congruent, being internally confident with yourself 100%. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just accepting yourself 100% as you are. And I had realized that I was just trying so hard to impress these people when objectively, we're all the Lord's people. I get it. But these people were objectively a bunch of fucking losers, Right. And I was like, trying so hard to like win over this group. And now it's funny, like here we are about 2 years later, that entire group is like disbanded. They all like hate each other. There's internal drama and all this shit.
Right.
And I was just so clouded by my insecurity, I guess, or lack of solid inner game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like I said, I take pride in being as transparent as I am, because I know everybody on the internet tries to pretend like there's this super cool.
Exactly.
I never premature ejaculate. I every girl I fuck has an orgasm. Every girl I walk up to, she's
like, right. Exactly. Right.
There's a lot of that going on here, and I don't like it. But I take pride in being open with what I'm experiencing, because I think by letting these guys at home who are watching us know exactly the problems that I'm going through, I do believe it gives them a little ray of hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? It gives them a little bit more of a way to appreciate the content, to know it's not coming from some like, ivory tower or some like holier than thou person. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's good because I always tell people, man, like I always say to people, look, I'm not special. I just did the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it's the thing is, we're not special. I always tell guys, it's like, I know people watch us, they see us, you understand what I'm saying? Doing what we do. And what happens is that there's a lot of struggle that we go through. There's a lot of things that don't go exactly how we plan it. And you know what I mean? So it's part of the game. It's part of life. And understanding that, I think it's good for people to know this, because if they have a sort of like a different mindset, they might say, well, MLD, it's easy for you because you're MLD and you're cool and I'm not like you, or Ms. Locario, you just, so like they start to think we're like this different, like a special type of thing. And it's like, no, the only difference between us and a lot of guys out there is that we put in the work. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, even times when we don't feel like it, we put in the work. You know what I mean? See, we're consistent and we do what we do. So a lot of times guys need to understand that they can do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The same exact thing. And so what happens is that once they realize that, then it becomes more of a realistic thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is,
Yeah. And I think, like I said, the being transparent is it's a very useful character trait to have. People at home watching too, because when you're lying to your mentor or you're lying to yourself, or whatever, all you're really doing is slowing down your growth.
Exactly.
And you're kicking that can further down the road. And the thing is, you're wasting time. You're gonna die.
Right.
Time's running out for all of us. So you got to use your time as efficiently as possible to become the man that you want to be. You can't get to where you want by sitting around lying to yourself and pretending that that everything's okay when it's not. Like, you got to be very honest with yourself. It's like a lot of guys in this space, they like to say, oh, these fresh and fit hoes are delusional, or this fat bitch on here just thinks she deserves a superhero body man is delusional. But a lot of these men are delusional too.
That's a fact, right?
You guys, like, you're just not being man enough with yourself. And and the message here is, it's not necessarily for everybody, right? Because the reason you and I have such tremendous success is because we have to have an uncomfortable look and conversation with ourselves to be like, this is broken. This is wrong. And we need to fix this.
Right.
We're not going to get where we want to be.
Exactly.
And it takes a real man to do that right there.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's also too, like, sort of, like not necessarily getting rid of your ego, but like not letting your ego get in the way of what you need to do. Because a lot of times what happens too is this, man, is that, and I'll say this because this happened to me a few times, where you don't want to let your ego or the perception of who you think you are, or or how people view you, get in the way of what you need to do or what you need to accomplish. Because sometimes what will happen is that you expect a certain level of success or a certain level of something going on with yourself. And then that level that you expect is based off of your perception of yourself, but that's based off of also how you think people view you. So what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that is that when a lot of you guys start to level up, you're going to have a certain standard for yourself. And then that's going to affect your ego. And then you're going to think that if I am not always at this level, then I'm not good enough. So it also could, mess you up in that sense too. So let's say, for example, you go from $30,000 you make in a year to like $100,000 you make a year, right? And then 1 year, instead of $100,000, you might make 80. then you're going to think you're a piece of shit because now your standard is at 100,000. So now you thought I'm $100,000 man and I only made 80. So I'm not good enough anymore. And something must be wrong. And this is what happens with a lot of guys because, they self-improve and then they get on the self-improvement high and they think like, I got to keep going higher and get to this level, which is cool. But you also have to not be so hard on yourself and understand you're human and things aren't going to go exactly how you expect it to go. Because if you continue to go down that path of thinking, well, I'm not nothing unless I'm here, you really miss the main point of self-improvement. And that's to understand that the self, which is yourself, you're good enough. You can make things happen and things can go down the way you want it to go down, but you shouldn't be measuring yourself based off of everybody else, based off these other things and all that other stuff, because that's going to put you back down into a spiral of insecurity and you feeling worthless. Because a lot of guys get into this situation or these communities feeling like they're not good enough. Mm-hmm. Then they put some work in and they're like, oh, cool, I am good enough because I got to this level. But then when they look at the numbers, when it's not exactly how they expect it to be, then they start again to feel like they're not good enough. And then it's almost like they missed the whole point of the self-improvement. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's very important to have a certain mindset and mind state so that you're not spiraling down back into where you first started. You see what I'm saying? And then again, this is why it's important to have the knowledge, because having knowledge can literally save your life. Most of these guys out here that you hear like, unfortunately, like all of these, guys that commit suicide and school shootings and all this other stuff. Most of these guys did this because they were ignorant and they didn't have a certain level of knowledge to understand themselves and understand their value. So they felt worthless. And this is why they go down these paths, you know what I'm saying? Because they just don't understand certain things. You see what I mean?
That's very deep because I've fallen victim to that.
Right.
That's exactly like, because I feel like if I don't make more money in my business or I'm not stronger this year than I was last year, I do struggle with that. Like I'm not good enough in that sense, and that's something I'm still working on myself.
Right. And I think everybody, because I've been there too, where it's like, it could be even something as simple as like, you're on YouTube, you're looking at your views, you're like, wait a second, how come my views isn't where it needs to be? And I expected this. You're just going through this thing, and it's like, and that's something that's very detrimental to where, you need to really, really take a look at yourself, because that's the type of stuff that can really fuck with your psyche and fuck with your happiness and sense of well-being. Because because you always want to strive to do good and do better and make things happen, but at the same exact time, you want to make sure that you're mentally not, fucking yourself up in those situations, with trying to validate yourself through all of these things. Because the thing is this, if you have that core confidence to know what you need to do to get where you need to go, then you're fine. Because think about this. If we're both businessmen, but the thing that makes us make money is not necessarily just doing any one particular thing. It's our mindset that causes us to do the things that we're doing. So for example, if I lose money today, my mindset, I know how to make more money tomorrow. I can always make more money. You see what I'm saying? So as long as I have the mindset and as long as I have the knowledge, I can continue to do what I need to do regardless of what happens. So even though I might be like, it's a little sting like, damn, this messed up and I lost this money, whatever, I still have the knowledge to do it over again, to make it happen. And I think that's the most important thing. This is what I try to get across, is that, joining programs like this, it gives you the knowledge to be that guy. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be the guy that got lucky and then something just happened, but you don't know how you did it. You want to be the guy that knows how to do it over and over and over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what Derek Moneyberg said on one of his Instagrams recently. Mm-hmm. He was saying that a professional is a guy that can do it over and over and over again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what we teach people, is like these, because you can't take that away from you.
Right. Exactly.
You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So we teach you how to fish.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with women. A lot of times guys get women on accident and they're like, how did I get this girl? And then when they lose her, they go crazy because they're like, I'm gonna never get a girl like this again. But if you know how to attract women, you know what I mean? You can do this over and over again. You can go out and meet different women, every week and it'll be what it is because you know how to do it. So this is why I'm telling you guys, I need to join stuff, the Masculine Power Network, because it teaches you how to do the things that you need to learn how to do to get what you want so that you can always get what you want. You see what I'm saying? Versus you stumbling into it and don't know how you got it, and then you lose it, and then you don't know how to get it again. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know what I mean? So that's some real stuff. So we'll wrap it up with this. But what's some things that I guess some more things that they'll probably learn in the Masculine Empowerment Network and other things that they need to know about this to join and all that other stuff?
Well, you're just going to meet other guys like you. That you're going to, like, a lot of people have been saying this to me since 2019. Like, they joined the community and they're like, dude, I finally feel like I'm not crazy.
Right.
Like, there's other people like me out there,
Right.
They want to do better. They want to level up. And what we did in the CME, right?
Right.
It was awesome. It was powerful.
Right.
You got to meet up. There's something dangerous in a good way when a bunch of men meet up together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it all starts with you getting your foot in the door digitally. You watch a YouTube channel, you do whatever you got to do. You join a Patreon group, whatever. This puts you in a digital community where we turn on our cameras. You see everybody on Zoom. You see all these different people doing their things, and it really just is a way for you to open your eyes to a whole new way of living. Like, poverty is like a choice in these days, in this day and age. Like, we teach guys how to get jobs and good careers that are going to last them a very long time. We teach guys how to start businesses. We teach guys how to travel around the world. We teach guys how to get one woman, multiple women, right? There are married men that join the community. You got to just want to get educated, right? But when you're surrounded by all these other dudes that are hungry and competitive, you're going to be hungry and competitive too.
Right.
You hang out with a bunch of losers, you're going to be a loser. You hang out with a bunch of junkies, you're going to be a junkie. It's just the law of the universe. So that being said, we have a community of guys who are focusing on money, muscles, game, and frame. And we're doing that all the way until March 2023. It's an investment right now. Right. And some people might be saying, like, it's $797. It's expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. That's because it fucking works.
Right. Exactly.
We think I would just sell this for like $50, and if it didn't work, this is a high value course. This is a high value curriculum with a high value men. I mean, that guy, Stephen Bell, he managed a $10 million cryptocurrency portfolio. When are you going to get an opportunity to talk to anybody like that?
Right.
And
on top of that, I think people got to understand. I always tell them this is about game. You get what you give. So what happens is it's always a value exchange. So the thing is that you're getting a certain value for the value that you're putting, out. So the thing is, a lot of guys be like, oh man, this is expensive and all this other stuff. What you don't realize is that if you think it's expensive and you're being cheap, they actually have an expression that says being cheap is expensive. You understand what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is that, again, all the mistakes you're making literally have to do with not having the right amount of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is that you're investing in the knowledge to get something back out. Just like, for example, when people go to college all the time, they put so much money in investment in college. So, you go to college, you get your information, you get your degree, and then you do what you got to do. It's the same concept. But with this is even better than the college, because what happens is that you're investing in your actual self versus just learning something to be at a job. You see what I mean? And so a lot of guys got to understand how important it is to invest in themselves. And on top of that, you take it more seriously when you're investing in yourself that way. You see what I mean? So that's the thing, is that you're going to actually listen, do the work, put in the energy to make it happen so that you can actually get something good out of it so that it can help you for your life. That's what a lot of guys forget. you're investing in something that will help you for the rest of your life. That's the thing. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and as I said, like, you could, because people might want to say, like, oh, well, there's a recession now, whatever, right? But that having that 797 in your bank account is not going to teach you how to get girls.
Right.
Having that 787 in your bank account is not going to teach you how to make a multi-million-dollar matrix escape plan so that you're completely free. Like you and I, we're free. We are free. We could work when we want to work. We sleep when we want to sleep.
Right.
I could never go back to working a 9 to 5. Me personally, the hell out of here.
Right.
Oh man, I love my life. My life is awesome, and it all started by me meeting another guy who is living this exact life. That I make more than that guy now. The guy that was my mentor. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but it all starts with opening your mind, taking that shot in the dark. And fortune favors the bold.
And I'll say this real quick, because I just remember this. I remember this was years ago. I can't remember how long it was. It's probably like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. But anyway, I actually bought a program by this dude named James Malinchek. Shout out to him, where he teaches you about marketing your speaking services and speaking at different events and stuff like that. So the price of it was $1,500, right? In my savings, I had $1,600 or something like that. So I just took that and I bought the program. Now, 8-9 years later, look at what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying? And I use some of the things that I learned in that literally in my live streams, when I'm speaking in person, all of these things that's helping me make money in what I do. So I say that to say that the things that you learn that you're investing in now is going to help you in the future for years. This is what I really want you guys to get when I'm talking about this, because a lot of guys don't really understand it. You see what I mean? And so what you have to understand is that when you're investing now in yourself, what's going to happen is that later on, those things are going to be helping you for the rest of your life. So I think that's something that guys really need to understand, because dudes, they just really don't get it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and like I said, like, it's priceless knowledge.
Right.
It's priceless knowledge, because when you consume this information, it changes who you are, and that changes forever.
Right.
You have what you have because you are who you are. So if you want to get something new, you have to change. There's no doubt about that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Real
and that's
talk.
what we're offering here with the Masculine Empowerment Network.
Real talk. So guys, make sure that you click the link in the chat that April has pinned. Make sure you click the link below if you're watching this on the replay. You feel what I'm saying? Share this video with your friends, share it with your enemies, you know what I'm saying? Share it with whoever, so that they can also, join in and check this out. You know what I'm saying? Any last words, any last things you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, not pretty much good to go. Just look forward to seeing you guys in there, and just let you know that when you come into my network, I will pour out my heart and soul to help every single last one of you. There's no change in my game. It doesn't matter if 100 people show up or 25 people show up. I'm always giving it my all. Mr. Locario knows how much of a hard worker I am, and I don't play around. And we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna change your lives. So come on down.
Yes, sir. So guys, appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all click the link, and we are out of here, people. Remember, the truth is inside you. We gone. We out. Peace.